Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 yet again. Leader Class Springer. And this one's a little controversial. He's a bit older, he's a little cheap now, and honestly, is he worth that leader price point considering what he is, which is a Voyager class? Yes, this guy's a barely changed remold of the Siege version. Now, this is the G1 Colors repaint that was an Amazon exclusive, but still, the point stands. If you look at these two figures, you can see a lot of aspects are the same. The only things that I can really spot out the gate, obviously, is the chest, the shoulders, the head, the thighs, weirdly enough, the little bit of the torso down here, and the backpacks, which, yeah, we'll get to all that in a minute, but that is mostly it for the changes. They're very similar figures, and quite honestly, is he worth the price that he is? Let's get into that, shall we? As far as Springer's design is concerned, I mean, it's good looking. It's Springer. It's exactly what Springer looks like, and I do like the Siege version. So, to upgrade it a little bit here, give it a little bit of extra stuff, I mean, it's fine. You know, it's fine. The look's pretty good. He has the shoulders, which are on an angle now, which is kind of something the original didn't have. The original one just had the straightforward shoulders, but his design has them on an angle like this. So ultimately, this figure does have that correct. The chest piece is a little bit better. It's a better shape than the other one. I do prefer the big yellow slab opposed to the green with a bit of yellow on there, but it's not bad still. Still looks pretty good. And overall, I mean, it still looks pretty solid, even though he carries a lot of the same details that the other guy does. For the most part. Like I said, not a ton has changed. The legs are mostly the same, except for the thighs and hips. The arms are exactly the same. The wheels are different on the shoulders. But the forearms and main arm component look to be the same. Are they? Wait a minute. Investigative reporting. No. The upper arm there, the bicep, is actually different. So, that's something. Like I said, there is a lot of change to the guy. Like, there is an absolute unit of it, but ultimately, is it enough? Because like I said, he's a Voyager. It's not like he's taller. It's not like he's anything else. They just wanted to put a little more engineering in him because he's a triple changer, and the triple changers are never Voyagers. The only exception to that rule was the Siege Springer. Now, what they tried to compensate for was accessories. So he, of course, comes with this new big gun. Very nice big gun. Pretty accurate. He also comes with this nice sword. I actually really like this sword. It's very nice, well painted. Very cool. They also gave him opening and closing hands, because leader class. He then also comes with, to make sure it's Siege Springer, the Siege Springer guns that you've just seen the other guy have, but in a different color. Okay, on his back we then have a bomb. You might remember that scene from the movie. We then have a hammer, which has nothing to do with the Springer, except, oh, it's a wrecker hammer. It's the one that came with the bulkhead from Amazon. Yep, just recolored in the light green plastic. Okay. And then he has one other sword, which is actually his most important sword, because you can't transform the figure without it. So this is really his sword. It's a lot larger than the other sword. That one's more of a broadsword than this. This is like a basic one. That's like a broadsword. I like the big sword. It's cool, it's nice, and it can store pretty easy. He has some slots on his back here. So you have this one here in the middle, these two there, and that's how you store stuff. That is how you store it. But as I noted, you only really have those slots on a couple of the weapons. 4 of them, to be precise. So he has to hold 2. And then there's the siege guns, which ultimately I don't think I'm going to give him. They're going to get thrown in a bin somewhere, genuinely. Like, it's good to have them, but I don't care about them. They work better as generic weapons for someone else. So that's what they're going to end up being, most likely. Because the only things I really want to keep with him is the new gun and this sword. I like the little sword. The little sword's cool. I don't care about the hammer either. The hammer's a hammer, and it's not even for the figure, like I said. It's a bit ridiculous. But overall, I mean, lots of accessories, but does that make up for the price? Because, like I said, he's a leader class pricing who's a Voyager size, and unlike the other leaders, how much did they add to this guy? So, detailing, I'll show the head up there as well. There's the head. Look at that. Boom. But his articulation, did it improve? No. Head, same thing. It's just immovable. Forward, back, outward, elbow, swivel, hand rotation, opens, closes. On the right arm, if I'm not mistaken, he has this little flip-out gun. Okay, that's there. Why not? He then has a waist swivel, forward and back, outward, swivel there. Very good knee joint, forward and back tilt, and an ankle tilt. So, I mean, everything's there, and he also fixes the waist issue that the original had, which is that it popped off super easy. But they fixed it. Now, of course, there's 2 alt forms to go over with this guy, and we're going to start with the easier one to get to, which is the car mode. So, one thing to note when transforming them, and this is something I never got to do with my original, these tabs suck still. They never fixed those. If you watched my original review of this guy, I broke one, and they're already stressed. They put 2 hook tabs together. That does not work at all, because they have to, like, there's no way of doing that well, in my opinion. There's just no way of doing that well. So you're going to do that with the legs, come into the sides of the legs, open these up, fold out the spoilers. One of the smallest steps on the figure, but if you miss it, you miss it, and it's, you know, it's whatever. You then have to take the shoulders and fold them up. They will click into place. There's a tab in there, and it's really hard to hit for some reason. If you don't actually tab them in, it won't sit right. So that's fun. After that, you're going to want to come over here to the chest piece, and you're going to undo a couple things here. First and foremost is your arms, which are in there. There we are. Fold down these olive green pieces, open up the chest, flip the head in. A lot better way of doing it than the original. Again, an actual improvement has been made here. We're going to take his legs and put them together again. And you're going to compress this back. So this is always just a step, no matter which version. But on this one, it's much easier to get done. On the original one, I couldn't do it. Too well. Mine was like super sticky and it just would not move. It just would not. It was super hard to get moving. The arms, they will fold forward. Now they're on, again, a kind of hook-like peg. Now, this hook-like peg is really bad. I don't like the reliance on the hook pegs with this guy, because they're just not fun to get into place. They're just not good. You either have to push it in like that, which feels like you're breaking the figure, or you gotta try to do what I was trying to do with kind of angling it to get it to go. And it just does not work out very good. Anyway, you're then going to fold down the back and also fold these little thingies up there down a little bit. And there's Springer's first alt form, which is this car, which, I mean, you can remove the sword from. Don't need it. Don't need it yet. And it's Springer's car mode. It's a spacey car. That's the thing with Springer as a triple changer. He's the one who's easily... He can get away with everything. He can just get away with it because he's a weird space car and helicopter. And the car, I mean, it looks good. It's Springer. I've always liked the green, and then it goes to the gray at the back. It's nice. I like it still. They didn't change the cockpit section between it, and they also didn't change these sections between the figures. And it's a little odd because it's actually a little jarring because if you notice, these are like highly detailed, while these are very smooth. Like there's a bit of raised detail, but these are like super raised. They got a bunch of things going on. It's just weird that they go from the big simplistic smooth design to over-designed stuff from Siege. It's really odd, and the legs kind of do that as well. It's just kind of weird. And I mean, overall, as a car, it works. I mean, it rolls. It does what a car does. I mean, it's fine. It's cool. I like it. It's not bad. And again, you can put the weapons on it. Actually, one of the smartest designs here is the gun. You can place it up on top because of the helicopter blade port there. The handle goes in there. Very smart. I like that a lot. But now we got to talk about the helicopter, which is probably the better one. It's a lot more fun to get to. So the first thing I'm going to do, fold those down like that. Come up to the front, undo the arms, and undo the backpack like you just seen there. And just rip those out. Once you do that, take the legs, fold them back into robot mode position. You're then going to unfold those, rotate his hips around. You're then going to come up here to the waist and undo the thighs. They swing down like that. You're then going to open up the legs like this. And then once you open up the legs like that, you're going to take the feet and swing them in just like so. And these clip on to the thighs. So again, those clips, that's the reason they're clips, is for that one step. Honestly, there had to be a better way to do it. I would have took some like tabs or something, genuinely. And then for the arms, they scrunch back just a tad. And then instead of pegging in up towards the front, they peg in at the arms. But I always forget this step for some reason. You have to open up the arms, flip these out, pull this up, flip this around. You have to make sure it goes into the correct spot. And then that leaves access to the area that you need to peg into. Like so. And then, as I mentioned, the sword, it splits open like this. And you just take these and fold them however. And then, boosh. Helicopter. I've always liked Springer's helicopter mode more. It's just always been the better mode to me, especially with this figure. I like it. It's nice. This won't sit right for some reason. That's usually the arm thing that I mentioned. If it's not pegged in, it doesn't like to sit flush. But, I mean, overall, the helicopter's pretty good. And the upgrade to the blades here, much better than how the original one handled it with this weird little adapter thingy for his swords that he had. I'd much prefer just the sword splitting like it does. Honestly, I've always, like I said, I love the helicopter. I've always liked Springer's helicopter form for some reason, because it just feels like it's the better one. It really does. Just the way that the legs transform for it. I mean, overall, I just love this thing. It's a good alt form, and it's the better of the two, and it's the better transformation of the two as well, because it's just a lot more going on. But that is basically it for Springer. So let's just get into my final thoughts here, which are, is he worth the price? That is the main thing. Did they change enough to warrant charging an extra 20 bucks? 30 bucks, actually. The answer to that is no. No, they didn't. They genuinely didn't. As I mentioned, this guy is for people like me who got suckered into it because I realized after that Ultra Magnus review, I have every other 86 release, like, on my shelf for the 86 movie gang. And I was like, my Springer is still the old Siege guy who genuinely looks nothing like him in the movie. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to replace him. You know, maybe if I had the other Siege Springer, that would have been different. But since I don't, well, that changes things. I now have to have this guy because Well, the other guy just doesn't work on the display. He just doesn't. He just doesn't look like the guy. He's completely wrong. And that was the problem. So I went out and got this guy, and I didn't get him on sale. I'll tell you that right now. I could have waited, found him elsewhere. Miss Toy Snowman, they had him for like 39 bucks. Wish I'd have known about that, by the way. That would have been an amazing get. But this was, you know, it's just a figure that, it's just not worth it at full price. He just isn't. Because, like, he's an overblown Voyager. He really is just a Voyager figure, but a little bit bigger with weapons. That's it. That's all it is. They just gave him weapons. The engineering's fine, but really they didn't change much. Like, ultimately speaking here, the transformations, because I did just do the other one's transformation for him, because I had him stored in his alt form. It's barely different. It really is barely different. Like, there's not a lot of difference between this guy and the old guy. Other than, this guy is definitely the more G1 accurate of the two. He's 100% the most G1 accurate of the two. But that's the only thing he has going for him. So in my opinion, if you're looking at getting this guy, make sure he's on discount, which he usually is. And if you're contemplating if you need him, if you have this Springer, I would say maybe go for it. But if you have the original release from Siege, that's just a little bit dirty looking, I think I'd keep that one. Because there's a little bit more of simplicity. Like, they fix some of the issues of the old guy, but they don't break anything. They just fix the issues he had, making him still good, but still flawed, because they didn't fix all of the issues. As I mentioned, these tabs, they're going to break. I know they're going to break. My other one broke. I'm surprised they haven't already. The backpack, they actually did fix that one. It actually pegs in now. The other one didn't. The arms are still a little annoying to transform. Ultimately, they just fixed some of the bad points, left some of the other ones. He's an improvement, but not a $30 improvement, I'll give you that. They just threw him in leader because that's where they put the triple changers. That's my one and only theory on that. Because the accessories they included, they've included this many accessories before. They didn't need to include the hammer. They didn't even need to include the old Siege guns. Nobody wanted those. The bomb, I think people could have went without. They just put that in there just to inflate it. It's fine stuff, but ultimately, like I said, if you're a Springer fan, yes. If you're just wanting to make your G1 collection complete, yes. But if you want a Springer and you already have a Springer guy, like I said, if you already have the other one, just keep the other one. You don't need this one. He's too similar. Unless you get him for a stupid deal, that's my opinion on him. He's pretty alright. He's like I'm giving him a 4 out of 5. I gave the other one a 4 out of 5, so he's getting one too. So that's about it for this review for Springer. This has been my review of Studio Series 86 Springer. This has been Eilt Elite signing out.